Okay.
Because it's hearing that make people go to court. That
All right,
know
all
your
right.
guidelines. To,
Now, that's a step in the right direction.
Sigma Pensions, working for you.
Business, not just the business.
With critical focus on the Nigerian economy, we see the bigger picture.
All right, guys.
Business Express
Mics are
on
up.
Smooth
Studios live. Studio
98.1.
silence, please. And thank you for joining us this morning. You're listening to Smooth 98.1. We have Rotus in the studio this morning for Business Express.
Valentine, good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes,
And he's
indeed.
not alone. He's joined by Wale from Sigma Pensions. Good morning, Wale.
morning.
Good morning.
Try that again.
Good morning.
There you go. There you go. Now
There you go. We
can
found you.
All right. All right.
Welcome. All right. Join the conversation by sending messages to through WhatsApp. WhatsApp number is 0809-444-0981. You can also send a message on our live chat button here on YouTube as we're streaming live, so you can see them in the studio. And also leave a message on Twitter at Smooth91FM with the hashtag BusinessExpress981.
All right, all right. So we're going to be jumping into GDP figures Q1 that came out yesterday. The MPC meeting is going on. It concludes today as well. Some CBN defending the Naira, how much they spent on it, and hopefully, and then also, if there's time, some new minimum capital, share capital requirements from NICOM. But let's quickly start with market activity for yesterday. 1.7% is where the market closed up in the positive region. We're now at 29,374 points. So far this year, the market is still down by 6.5%, but it's in the last week since the MTN listing. The market, I have to say, has done pretty well. I think its 1 week performance is like 3% or so. So Wale, let's again, Wale Kuriboye from Sigma Pensions, welcome again. Let's hop into the GDP numbers for Q1, 2.01% for the first 3 months of this year. What are your thoughts compared to, I guess, last year and even last quarter?
Yes, so it's a bit of an improvement from last year. Seasonality. So seasonality just means that you'll be wary of making those quarter-on-quarter comparisons.
Okay.
But I think the key I would say is that Luna continues to show signs of strength. I mean, agricultural GDP seems to have returned to its trend levels of 3%, which is positive. The key drags or the key negatives, I would say, were oil production as usual, which continues to remain on the negative side. Last year we did almost 2 million barrels in Q1. This year 1.96. So I think that's really where the pressures are coming from. So I think all in all, I would say from my viewpoint, that number was, I mean, I was expecting a weaker number for Q1.
Right.
1.8 came in quite strong. Primarily because, I mean, we had all the election issue, so I was a bit wary about what you were saying Q1, but it came in at 2%. What that means is that most people, I think, were looking at the 2% number for this year.
Right.
So
now that's still under population growth, yeah. So that's still the narrative that Nigeria's economy is not growing fast enough to keep up with population. What's I mean, we beat this drum all the time, but still, for listeners that keep asking this question, what do we need to grow faster? What needs to happen?
I think for what the GDP number tells you is that most sectors of the economy are growing at 2-3%.
Okay.
Maybe you have 1 or 2 sectors that are in contraction and with oil. For us to move from 3% to about 6%, which is where 6-7%, which is where we used to be previously.
Right.
We need there's no magic about it. You just need to go and buy that bullet of reforms again. I mean, agri sector is perhaps the biggest sector. I mean, the key problem there, as always, is that agricultural GDP is always a function of. I mean, Nigeria is largely subsistence.
Right.
To move from where we are to the high levels, you need to do increased mechanization, and a lot of knowledge capital also needs to be in that sector as well. So, because raising crop yields is not something that countries do overnight.
Right.
I mean, most countries that raise yields on agricultural output, it's a very serious, dedicated process of raising mechanization levels on those farms, becoming more and more commercial based, and then also involving a lot of using a lot of improved agricultural varieties to raise your crop yield. And that's not an easy process for us. And then, of course, for non-agri sectors, you have the issues of manufacturing and all of that. Those sectors will remain uncompetitive, primarily because you have an infrastructure deficit and all those things. And the only way we can do that is, as always, is raising capital, raising your number of infrastructure stock you have and things like that. for us today, where we are, the government obviously doesn't have that money. That money
Right.
either needs to come from the private sector or from wherever, from outside of Nigeria. So, as always, we need to find ways to, and the only way you can do that is to carry out more liberalization reforms that attract private capital.
into the
For
country.
the oil sector, I mean, oil production has averaged 1.9 to 2 million barrels per day for close to a decade.
Right. Haven't
I mean,
moved.
haven't moved, and that's just primarily because there are no new FIDs, no new projects coming online.
Right.
And the reason is because
So when you say FID, what do you mean?
final investment decisions.
Sorry, yes,
So-
the acronym thing.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. So
Thanks,
typically,
Valentine.
when you're starting an oil field, whatever the company is has to make a final investment decision, and
Right.
because they will typically model an oil price, tax, and all those things to arrive at whether this field is going to be profitable for us to go into or not.
Mm.
Now in Nigeria, there hasn't been any major FIDs since 2008. Most of the fields that are released are old fields or fields that were maybe FIDs were signed in mid 2000. So
Wow.
there's been no major new exploration activity, and so and clearly the biggest driver there is the absence of a clear regulatory regime,
Right.
the absence of the PIB. We're trying to change our law, and we haven't changed this since 2008. So for investors, there's no way you can make a decision if I don't know under what laws I would be governed
Right,
under.
right.
So until we get some clarity over the PIB, I think you will always still continue to find a lot of investors, international companies just saying, you know what, we'll just pause on Nigeria for now.
Thank you for that, Wale. So the work is there for us to be done in agriculture, manufacturing, oil and gas, and so on. If we want to grow further, all right. Let's move from GDP Q1 to the MPC, the Monetary Policy Committee. They met yesterday, and they're also concluding their meeting today. We know the last meeting they cut rates by 50
pips, yeah.
50 basis points to 13.5. What do you think they're going to do this time when the meeting concludes
I
today?
think everybody seems to be saying they're likely going to hold.
Right.
Primarily because, I mean, this is the first meeting after that meeting, and typically, I mean, the central bank always tends to say, okay, let's see and observe whether the impact, what the impact has been. Optically, I think they're likely going to hold as well because the most recent inflation numbers that came out showed inflation heading north. So
Right.
it would generally not be seen as right for a central bank to be
Cutting and then
cutting
raising
and
right back the
raising
next
right back
time, yeah.
again. So I think more likely they'll just sort of hold and just keep
And
things.
see where things are going.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. I see a message there.
AIE actually sent in a message here. It says, do you think this GDP result is coming out late, or is it okay at this time that it came out? I feel it's a bit late.
Is it late? I think it came around rather.
Yeah,
This is around
this is our
yeah,
usual
start-
time.
So
I mean,
it's not.
some advanced countries bring it out faster. But
Yeah. This is Nigeria.
This is,
And Benga Akomo is asking, can there be growth and development without security? Much as we say so many things that can be done, the elephant in the room is security. Farmers are running from the farms. In all, security is needed for any real development.
Thank you for that, Benga. Actually, the inflation story, Wale, when inflation jumped for the first time in 3 months to, I think, 11.37 or so, what to Benga's point, that was mentioned that the whole, I think in the Northeast, a lot of banditry, robberies, and
we've
right.
always had that issue for. I mean, since this whole thing began. there's
right,
always
the
been
headsman
a-
thing and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always been an issue, running issue. Yeah.
So he's pointed out security still has to be
Yeah,
accounted
because I mean,
for.
large parts of the north, which traditionally were a large production,
Right.
agricultural production region, you just have people unable to sort of carry
focus
out,
on what they
yeah.
want to do. So I guess that's a serious point. Yeah.
And then
Security.
Yinka says, what if the economic growth can't keep up with the population, and we're not thinking outside the box to see how to improve on that? Don't you guys think that we should put a freeze on the population growth? But some people from a certain region, even in the National Assembly, will kick against it. So it seems that this country, it seems like this country is programmed to fail, and we as individuals just have to break out by force. That seems Canada is the only way out.
Canada.
You
Yinka.
can focus on your country.
Look,
Stay
let
here.
me. Funny you mentioned population growth. Let me just read what I saw on Bloomberg. It was the headline. Okay. Last year, American women gave birth to the fewest number of children since 1986. That amounts to a fertility rate of 1.7 children per woman. 1.7 in America, well below the rate of 2.1 necessary to maintain a stable population.
Right.
Our one is 5.3 5.3 women, 5.3 children per
Children to
woman
woman.
in Nigeria.
This
America
population-
is dropping.
Population, our birth rate is over the top.
Well, the NICOM, let's quickly talk about the new minimum share capital requirements that NICOM has put out. Quite a jump, and shout out to Tunde. Tunde, actually, a listener that sent this to me on WhatsApp yesterday. Your thoughts, Wale? These numbers here are.
It seems like the regulator reacted quite bitterly to
Yeah.
the court cases last year because I mean, last year they had tried to raise their capital base with this tiered structure, whereby even if you didn't raise your capital, you would still sort of remain in the industry, but you won't be able to access certain sectors or be able to provide insurance services.
Right.
However, that case went to court, and I guess people were arguing that did the regulator have the right to sort of stratify the industry in that way? What the regulator has done now is just
So I will show you
a brutal, I mean, massive jump across
Yeah.
board. I mean,
So,
most things there.
let's look at this now. So for life,
Goes from-
existing was 2 billion minimum. They jacked it up to 8 billion.
Yeah.
General insurance was 3 billion, went to 10. Composites from 5 billion to 18, and then reinsurance from 10 to 20. So what can they take them to court again, or what do they do
The
now?
regulator has by law, the regulator has the right
Has the
to
power.
set capital limit, and so what they've done, I mean, it's interesting. If you look at the new numbers, they're higher than the highest tier you had under the previous.
Right, under the previous one.
So it's like that's what I say. It's like the regulator has come up with
Okay, hammer. Okay, so what now happens to the players if you don't have the minimum share capital, the billions they're asking for now for like the composite players now at 18 billion? What happens? Do they merge? Do they what?
You have to raise that money, or
Yeah.
you merge, or you simply
You
your license
you
won't-
cease to exist.
You won't get the license anymore. So
Wow.
So that's it. So I guess they have over the next 1 year to.
Okay, yeah, the deadline is next year, yeah.
So I mean, on the plus side, I suspect it's probably a good thing because one thing a lot of people have complained about is the Nigerian insurance sector is highly stratified.
Right,
I mean,
too
high number of
many
players.
insurance players everywhere.
So by
yeah.
driving this sort of consolidation, it's going to create a bit of M&A activity over the next 1 year. So a bit of investment banking activity. at least.
M&A, okay.
Sorry,
Mergers and acquisitions. Mergers and
Mergers
acquisitions.
Yeah, so at least you have that going on. At least the insurance sector is going to create that vibe over the next
Awesome.
1 year. But the important thing is that at least players come out of this much stronger, much more able to sort of
Yeah.
provide insurance services.
All right. Rainmaker says, remind me, Rotus, who are the members of the Monetary Policy Committee and how many are they?
8.
Yeah,
Eight or-
about 11
8 or 11,
11 or 12.
11 or 12 members.
Yeah.
Members, the deputy, who else is on the
Largely
deputy?
CBN members, and then you have about 4 independents.
4 independent folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bukola says, did you guys see Nonso's article on the sleaze going on CBN? He was very careful in that article. Is he scared of Nefi?
Nicola, we kind of didn't want to touch on that, you know, 'cause we just want to, but yeah, the question though, I mean, just diplomatically, it's the, it's the spending. I mean, the CBN defense of the Naira and how much they've spent. I think it was, what the Nairametrics say, $36 billion last year versus 15. Yeah, and it's through OMO auctions, yeah, that's the issue.
Well, so I think the key issue, and which I think I suspect a lot of people have sort of talked about, and which the tape sort of brought to people's mind, is that the CBN sort of seems to be running. So on the liability side, they seem to be paying 17-18%.
Right.
So on the asset side, however, there are not that many assets that are generating that amount to be able to sort of meet them. So that's, I suspect, is what the tape sort of hinted at. But CBN has come out to say, hey, no worry.
No worries, it's okay.
There's nothing wrong there. And
Danny says, very good move by the National Insurance Commission, that's NICOM. The insurance sector has potential to do way more than it is doing right now.
Alright.
Thank you, Yinka. Your message is too long. There's no time.
Yeah, Yinka is still on this fertility thing. Yinka, thank you. We see you. We're worried. Let's
And thank
reduce
you, Wale.
it.
Thank
Wale
you for stepping
Okoriboy
in.
of Sigma Pensions, thanks for joining us today.
And somebody sent a message at first. I skipped it. Was asking for. Okay. Kufri says no Hazel today.
Kufri, I don't blame you. Hazel will be next week.
All right, guys. Fantastic. Thank you, Rotas.
Thank
Join him
you,
on Twitter.
Valentine.
His
Yes.
Twitter handle is at Rotanquote. ROTAN.
KWOT. Yes, indeed.
Okay. Next, we have a very interesting conversation that you don't want to miss. It's here at 7 o'clock, and after that, 7:30, the time for us to go to a detailed analysis of our newspaper stories this morning. Smooth 98.1.
Express on Smooth 98.1. It's
Well done.
Big fans of
Have a nice
Hazel.
day.
Very useless people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, believe me.
So to focus on information.